Hello, everybody, and welcome to Tourney Timmys, where we talk about anime and why it's bad and why you should never watch it. Today's episode is why is Berserk the worst anime of all time? So,
Ignore him. We're your hosts. I'm Kay.
and I'm Kurds, and welcome back to Tourney Timmys.
Yeah, we were talking for about 40 minutes before we decided to hit the record button, and we had a lot we were discussing that was just like heavily just tangent off of magic, and we just kept going, and we thought we were recording, and we were just like, all right, this is what the podcast is turning into. But
yeah,
now we're here.
Berserk, good. Avatar,
yes.
Good. Avatar: Magic the Gathering, good.
Yeah, our consensus is that, which those of you that don't know, my girlfriend, the lovely, amazing woman I've been with for many years, she's the editor, and then her and my favorite show is Berserk. Absolutely, hands down. We binge watched the entire thing, basically from start to finish. Beautiful show. I think it's masterpiece. If you disagree with me, it's okay to be wrong. But into what we wanted to talk about today, my thing that I wanted to bring up was, have you looked at really any of the numbers that have been going on right now for tournaments? I know you're not really like a big numbers guy, but aside from obviously knowing like what's the most popular deck, like Blue Farm, but like, do you have any idea like conversion rates on decks like going up and down?
Like sometimes I haven't looked at it recently because I've been busy, but I'd like to have you know that I was a math teacher at one point, and I taught pre-calc to high school students. So don't you dare tell me I'm not a numbers guy.
Listen, you would have fooled me. I apologize.
I'm sorry. Do the glasses fool you? Do I not look smart? Okay. I'm sorry. Let me do this. Oh yes, hello there. Let me talk about.
That's like librarian vibes right there when you drop down.
I see.
So the most interesting thing for me that I found, based on decks that are performing in the past 3 months, looking at conversion rates. So who's actually making it to the top cuts right now, based on the amount of people that are doing it, the percentage of those that are getting in. Dogthrass is at a 27.77% conversion rate. That's the highest that it shows within the past 3 months of every deck. And I think that's pretty staggering for a deck that takes up less than 1% of the metagame that shows in these tournaments.
I think more specifically...
And one sec, for clarification, this is for events that are 60 people and on.
The fact that the conversion rate for Derevi is 12.9 is what gets me every time. Is that, it's literally the same deck.
Kind of.
It's like 5 to 10 cards difference, but you can find that in most decks, right? It's still just a 3-card, Guy's Cradle shenanigans pile.
The thing about Derevi, which is a fun thing that I don't know why people forget, because like when you're building Derevi, you've got to remember you don't have card draw in the command zone. You can do some crazy shenanigans with like what you have. Like for example, is like in addition to the One Ring, like you should just be on Short Guy. You need all the additional draw engines because you're going to be playing basically every single tutor that can reach around and get it. Like you're going to play a creature tutor that can tutor an artifact to get your One Ring to then cast it. Like that's Derevi. You're doing all this without card draw. Dogthrass has in the command zone the card draw, and you just have Derevi that you can go get when you're ready to win. And so if you're playing Derevi, your mulligans are much more strict on what you're looking at. Like your hands need to be much more playable compared to Dogthrass, because like you can just keep mana and like a couple pieces of interaction in your hand in Dogthrass, and you'll get somewhere because you're going to be drawing extra cards. Derevi doesn't have that ability. It needs to play with like the 7 cards in its hand. Because like even as the commander, Derevi is just basically not there. He doesn't do anything. He's basically a mana dork.
He's an untapper, depending on what you have in the battlefield. But yeah, He just untaps lands half the time, or taps other. Yeah, I like Derevi, but it's definitely the type of thing where you just. It's usually half the time. Once they get Gaia's Cradle out, you just counter their tutor because you know they're going to get a meal every single time.
Yeah. The other thing about like, and this is coming from personal experiences that I can't say this for everybody, but from judging events, I've seen people that listed up with the Revi, and just by nature, because I do deck checks for every single person that comes in for the events, it when you're looking at the cards they're playing and when they're playing in the actual tournament. Which, oh my gosh, if you ever want to like talk to me after a game in an event, like if I'm watching round one, for example, you lost, and you before round two, you want to chat with me away from the players. Oh my god, I watch everybody's games. I love watching cEDH, even just their judging. But the Direct players, it's just like, why are you not just going to grab the one ring? If they have a problem with that, go grab a different engine. Like you have to do this. If you don't have card draw in the command zone, your first utmost priority is to get card draw. You need to get the thing that you don't have. And so when I see these players, they're just like, okay, they may get like a Fairy Mastermind. I think that card's awful. I don't only care about it if you're going infinite. That card, I just want to see people stop playing it. It's only good in specific decks. I will say that until the sun burns out. But
people play Fairy Mastermind in Derevi decks?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, because when you're going infinite, if you make infinite mana, but you don't actually have an outlet in your hand ready to go or anything on board, Fairy Mastermind is technically something that gets you somewhere to win the game. That's why they run it on top of it being a draw engine.
Okay.
Well, you don't. The only thing you have in the command zone is part of a combo piece and maybe untapped shenanigans with like specific synergies you have in your deck. Like it doesn't do anything.
I don't know. I always prefer like Chromatic Orrery, One Ring.
Yeah, what if you don't have it on the board? Like what if you just don't have anything at the moment, but you're ready to win? But if you have it is
2 mana flash. Yeah, it's 2 mana flash, so I can see that. Why wouldn't they just run Thrasios? No, I don't know, because it's not. Yeah, I would run Fairy Mastermind over Thrasios then. Yeah, okay, I see it.
Yeah, and so Derevi's just in a weird spot. So every time I see people playing Derevi, I think they're imagining the decks playing very differently. By nature, the format is you need to make mana draw cards, and you don't have to do that the fastest because your card quality could be much higher than your opponent's. But mana and card draw, you have to establish both every single game unless you're trying to win. Like if you're a turbo deck, you don't care about either one of them. You just go, I want to win now. Every other deck, you need mana and card draw. It's just bottom line.
What's making Dog Thras so good in this meta right now? Just from it being able to abuse Gaia's Cradle a little bit better, or
one word really, just malleability. Dog Thras list. Every time I look at them, depending on where they're at in the country, like I read an event recently up in Indiana, so I was looking at the events that were going on over there, the meta shares. I checked out my area and a couple of the people that I might fly out to run an event for, but the decks can play basically any way you want. It's not the best at Storm like Rogthras is, where you're kind of locked into your one game plan to try to win early and quick and very harshly compared to your opponents. But with Dogthras, like you can do that. You'll be a little step behind. You can choose to do mid-range. You can choose to do control, and your options available to you are actually quite staggeringly high. Like the card selection in Bant, at least for Dogthras, because I've been playing it a lot recently, feels really high. Like you can play things from Bright Glass Gear Hulk to the one drop Tameo that flips from 60 card decks, and like each of those they're finding success in people that are taking these two events. Like I spoke to Usually not a big fan of like name dropping people, but he's a good guy. I spoke to Hummingbird recently because he commented under my deck list, and I was like, I'm pretty sure you don't even realize you know me. So I was just like, I'm pretty sure we've met and we spoke about it, and he agrees the same way. There's just like anything with Dog Thras is just like, depending on how you play it, if you're getting to your win, like the deck gets there. It doesn't have a set 99 cards that you can play. Kind of like how Blue Farm can switch out 10 cards with its extra 110 cards that it has in the considering, and it does great. It's as a core game plan, you're making mana and drawing cards. How bad can that be?
What are some like unique and special cards that other decks should be playing?
That they should be playing.
Yeah.
Okay. Then in general, I would probably look more towards things like Exploration. That card's OP.
I agree. In certain decks, it should be. I think it should be seen more because usually what happens is that it allows you to, get additional mana, which is like empty your hand of the lands.
Mhm.
By if you, it's definitely the type of thing where if by turn 2 you have 4 lands, like you're
Oh, it feels great.
good. It feels great.
Yeah. I had a game not too long ago. It wasn't the last game I played with it, but I think I was in my local shop here. In there, I was playing Dog Thras. I opened up with Land Exploration, Lands Dork. So I went into my next turn, played 2 more lands, and so now I'm looking at my hand being practically empty, and I just go, okay, Dog Thrasios, and I have mana for whatever I want. I'm just like, I'm set for this entire game off of just playing turn 1 Exploration. Doesn't require my opponents to do a damn thing except let it resolve. And nobody cares about it. Oh my god, I've seen people, like, they told me they had a mental misstep, and they're just like, it's probably not worth it. They're like, he doesn't have that many lands in hand. Like, I play 30 lands in my deck. Like, green feels so good when you're making land drops that all your land tutors, guess what? Play more lands and you get more of them. It's OP. Like, for example, one of the me cards is Mystic Sanctuary. A lot of people think I'm crazy, but I've won so many games off of the back of Mystic Sanctuary alone. Like being in like a heavy creature pod, for example, and I just go board wipe, and then I go to my turn and end of turn fetch Mystic Sanctuary, put it on top, and draw it for turn. And I don't even need to cast my board wipe. Because they all know I have it in my hand. You've been on the receiving end of this before. I know other people in the server that have been on the receiving end of this before. They're just like, we know he has a board wipe. I don't want to deploy creatures to the board because he's going to fight to let it to get it through. And I'm like, hell yeah! Especially if it's an uncounterable one like Supreme Verdict, like that one. Like doing that twice to people really upsets them.
What do you don't run out of time in that list?
Oh no, never.
No.
Specifically because phasing does not work favorably with commanders. So if you're ever hitting yourself, you're shooting yourself in the foot hard.
Yeah. What are Supreme Verdict, because it can't be countered.
I'm actually on that right now. I'm actually on Winds of Abandon. Usually in that deck, I don't have too many problems when it's like concerning the board. It's usually comes up where I can convince people to like try to remove stuff because for example, I don't play cards like Kennen in my deck. I just don't because I play against so much Simic in my area that everybody just wants to copy it, and they're playing 3 to 5 clones. I'm not going to give them a Kennen a copy. I just won't. That's why I love the new card that is coming out, Badger Mold Cub. That card's awesome, and it's not a Kennen that goes infinite with another piece in their deck. So it makes like your dorks tap for 2. And so I've been doing a lot of things with Enduring Vitality and tutoring that up, like a lot of my games. It may not be my first creature every game, but it's definitely either my second or third that I get onto the board. I get that card a lot. Just a Cryptolith right on the body that comes back when it dies is just really good.
How's that an infinite?
What do you mean?
As you said, Badger Mole Cub is an infinite.
No, I said it doesn't go infinite with something else in their deck, meaning Kennen because it comes with the set.
Okay. I'm just rereading it.
Yeah, I also went crazy recently. I was trying to figure out what else to do with the deck, and I took out the Grand Abolishers. I took out Granddad, Voice of Victory, and Cutzel. The only things I have in there per silence effects are Ranger Captain of Eos, Silence, and Orange Champ. Really high on Orange Champs personally. That card's good. More people need to play it. But um, in general, in that deck, I can choose when I win. And when I'm winning, it's very interesting when you view it this way. By the time I'm going for a win attempt with like a Laurel Breeze Caller, I have so much mana that by sheer number of activations, I have more interaction than the rest of the table, and I don't need a Grand Abolisher because then I just go and fit it on top.
I'm surprised about Cutzel though, because doesn't your Yoshimaru, when it swings, you draw a card?
If it connects with an opponent. If it was just off of attack, then I would definitely leave it in there.
Okay.
But so Cutzel was actually just a remnant on a previous iteration I had with the deck where I was playing the Green Pact. I forget the name of it offhand.
Summoner's
Pact, I think. Yeah, Summoner's Pact. So I was using Summoner's Pact to get like different creatures out of my deck, namely Cutzel and Endurance that I would get with Summoner's Pact. Whether I have to Endurance in someone else's turn to stop a Thoracle win attempt or whatever, or just use it 0 mana, go get a Grand Abolisher. But I took out Green Pact because it wasn't coming up as often as I needed, and so I was just like, I don't really need this anymore. So I took it out for Tataru Taru, which gives me more mana. Because I wanted more mana.
How do you feel about Tataru Taru in cEDH?
I mean, I think the card's fine. If you're ever in a situation where you're giving a singular resource, you always give it to the person who's furthest behind or the other person that will absolutely keep you in the game off of that necessary resource. And if you view it that way, it's like the downside is so minimal, it doesn't matter. Like, you're going to be caught off in, like, the 1 in 30,000 chance where, like, maybe it screws you off when it comes up. But, like, that's such small chances. I'm okay with giving somebody one card if I'm getting a card and I'm getting a mana out of it, and then I can continue to get more mana on everybody else's turn, which, like, for me, if Smothering Tithe just made me 3 mana every turn and not anything additional, I'd still play the card. This card has the potential to still make me 3 mana every turn cycle. I'm fine with that. Off of 2 mana.
That's a fancy deck list. You want to throw that up in the chat for a quick second?
Yeah, sure.
I can. What am I doing? I'm your friend on Moxfield.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's public. It's called Loyalty Engine.
Loyalty Engine? Why is that?
The ever faithful loyal hound with Thrasios being a dumb engine.
Oh, you're running the Cabbage Merchant?
Yes, I've been doing a lot of testing with it. It's very nice, legendary for Yoshi. It makes you a bunch more mana. I did have a game where people tried killing me with the One Ring and then forgot I could just start cracking my clues. I had a Cradle at that time that tapped for 9, and I untapped it, I think, 3 times, and I just cracked all my clues before they connected. Or something, foods, not clues.
Yeah.
Oh my god, it'd be even better if it was clues. Imagine if you made clues and then you could tap them for mana. Yeah, that'd be crazy. Oh my god.
That would be so broken.
It would, yeah. That card would be dummy.
Yeah, the thing is with Cabbage Merchant is that the average cEDH deck has like 25 creatures, right? If that. Yeah. And so like 2/3 of the deck, I guess with lands it's 50. So like half the deck is literally non-creatures. It's so Cabbage Merchant is so good. And it's 3 mana.
Yeah. And it has the stompy cost, which is more OP. Like, it'd be much more balancing if it was double green in one. Like, let's be real. But green's pretty easy to produce. So, like, the only thing, like, if you wanted to make this card fair and still CD's playable, you have to make it triple green. People would play it, but a lot less people would play it. That's for sure. But it being a stompy cost, which, for those of you that are watching, if you don't play Legacy or Vintage, stompy just means 1 colored pip and then 2 generic pips.
Oh, you play Evondo?
Evendo, yeah.
Oh, it's Evendo.
I play
How do
that
you?
over Growing Rights of Itlamok. That's actually why it's semi-important for my Yoshi to get bigger in my deck, because I do that
Oh
instead of Growing Rights of
yeah.
Itlamok.
Okay,
Yeah,
but
because
isn't
growing
for
rates for me is like coming up where it's missing a lot, and then my creatures aren't that important. All my like if you're as you're looking at my list, if you look at most of my creatures, most of the time you don't care if you draw them or not. Like if you're just like, oh, I drew another dork, okay, it's more mana for next turn. You drew like another card that draws you a few more cards a turn cycle. And you're just like, okay, cool, sure, I'll drop you. But I'm not playing a high number of creatures. So growing rights misses pretty frequently. So I'm just playing Invendo instead because I'm playing extra of the cards that go get Cradle. Not quite as much as like you'd expect from a Rograk Thrasios deck that's trying to do everything under the sun to get Cradle on like the first upkeep of the game. But I definitely have enough where I do find myself reusing them too sometimes. Um, and like for example, I've double Sylvan Scrying before because of Mystic Sanctuary, and like doing that after you go get Cradle, you're just like, well, what else do I want? You go, okay, maybe a Monamo, and you're just like, okay, maybe an Avendo, and you can just keep going, like all your additional lands that you're getting out of providing you so much more value. Another reason why Exploration's awesome because if you want to play 2 land drops in a turn because you want to play Monamo and something else, you can do it actually comes up a lot because when I drop like a Heuristic Study, One Ring, or something like that, I mean, it's crazy when you're literally standing at the table by like turn 6 and you have like 15 plus lands. Like between just playing 2 for turn and Thrasios activations, you just have a disgusting amount of mana compared to your opponents. Like even if they board like you just straight up don't care. You make so much mana.
what a card? Huh. I like your list.
Yeah,
I
it's very mid range focused.
Yeah,
Um,
29 instants. Yeah.
29 instance, and I have a bunch of creatures with flash, and I'm probably going to be changing Tameo out for that new Wan Shi Thung, the librarian.
Oh yeah, that card
Yeah.
so
That card,
good,
yeah.
so
That
good.
card's disgusting.
Let's talk.
That's a blue staple. Real talk though, out of like the cards that are coming out, that's going to be in cEDH for a long time. That card's
Yeah,
done.
I mean, what Archivist of Ogma? Let's
Yeah,
let
it
like
was the best 2-drop engine in the entire game. Now we have one that basically does the same thing, but you can also dump it into it to draw more cards on top of being able to pitch it to Force of Will. And it's legendary. For like turn on things like Mamber that like you probably playing in like other decks if you decide to play this in the 99 that it helps turn on. Like this card just like the benefits of it keep going up except for the fact that you can't clone it.
yeah,
Unless you
it's
legendary roll, obviously.
yeah. So that came out in 2022, and it might be the best 2-drop since then, right? Like just
Well, it's going to
from
be like Archivist of Ogma. I think hands down is the best draw engine in the game. Off
best
of
2-drop,
everything that I've seen, my own
the best 2-drop draw engine.
yes, best 2-drop draw engine specifically in the entire game. Like I've seen that thing hands down perform leagues better than everything else.
Because
Like
we feed
some
it
things
every
like
time.
Colorwell Prodigy, you have to be very deck specific to turn that thing into something that's crazy. But with Archivist of Ogma, it's just so generic. Like even monocolor decks play fetch lands just for deck thinning. Like especially if your color doesn't draw cards like red or white. Like this is coming from the person who plays Athalia cEDH stacks list. Like I play all the fetches I can. I'm also on Vista, which for those of you that don't know that nickname for it, it's Prismatic Vista. So like I play all those things to deck it, so my draws are better. Like it's just something you got to do. And
Yep.
so every single one of them, yeah, let me draw cards. Yeah, appreciate it. Oh, you're playing how many tutors in your deck? Cool. All of those draw me a card. Cool. That's nice.
And and what I like, it's a flavor win. If you watch Avatar, you know it's a flavor win. Uh, but specifically, it's like the only thing that is worse about it is the 2 blue, because Archivist is a 1/2, right? Or is it 2-2?
No, they're both 2-2. Sorry, Archivist is a 2-2. Wan Chi Tong is a 1-1, but basically it will always be a 2-2 when you cast it. Basically.
Yeah. So it is.
Also, something to remember is that they, for some reason, Flying Vigilance, they for some reason gave it 2 disgusting keywords. So every single Tymna deck that's blue is just playing this.
Yeah. It's
like
so good.
Yeah.
So good because
like,
even if it,
I don't know, like when I tell you this card's gonna stay, it's gonna be here for like basically ever. This format would have to turn into something else for it to disappear.
I looked at that card and I was just like, my wallet, it's gonna hurt.
It's so good. It's only like $110 and it's not even out.
Why is cEDH so expensive?
I know. And like
with how many
that, like, the average person needs for all their decks, like say if you play like 5 decks and you need like 5 of them, whoop, there you go. It's $600. Goodbye.
Remember, most tournaments allow you to proxy. Feel free to do so.
Yes.
With our sponsor,
do that.
Proxy Printer.
No, we're not sponsored by anybody that prints proxies.
Hashtag sponsor us.
Yeah, I mean, sure, go ahead.
Yeah, sponsor us, please.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't think we have enough people for people to be interested in sponsoring us right now. But
yeah.
It's some wishful thinking.
I will say I won a tournament and I got a free deck from them. And it's a good deck. The prints are good. It was clean. I got some they added some free like some like a token, some tokens, and like some other rando cards for free. And I was like, okay, this is great.
But back to this, the scary thing after Dog Thrasios going is that the next 2 highest conversion rates are Rograk Silas and Ral. Are people not ready for people to hit the gas pedal?
No, because and this is what happens is that they get their first or second 7, and they're like, "Oh, this is a win turn 3. I got this." And they're like, and then what happens is that they keep one piece of interaction that they can use for the turn 3 to win, whether it's an offer or whatever. But they tap out turn 2, and who also is going turn 2, Ral or Rockside, and they're winning turn 2. Same with Atali to an extent, is that they aren't running interaction pieces to start. And usually if they don't win turn 2 or something, they will attempt to then win again on turn 3. Ral not so much, but once Ral flips,
and so I'm seeing that like with the malleable gameplay that Dog Thras has to offer, whether that being play slow, choose to hit the gas pedal, or interact a lot with your opponents, allows you to sit in basically any meta game, which is a quality that I love to have in a deck. Like Blue Farm is something that I keep trying to tell people, which I know I'm in the minority and it's fine, but when I like try to break down the concepts is where I start losing people. Is with Blue Farm, I don't think the deck is nearly as good as it is performing. I think it's the perception of Blue Farm.
The best players play that deck.
Yes.
And the best players who like Blue Farm does win tournaments. Like if this deck hits top 16, I don't want to play against it because it's just going to throw in turn 3 or 4, and we'll do it again next turn, and then the next turn, and the next turn. And that's
what I'm saying is that when you're analyzing everything that we've seen, depending on the viewer, they could be playing cEDH for like any amount of time. But for someone like, for example, how long have you been in cEDH again? It's been a little bit, right?
2020, 2021, end of 2020,
so like 4 or 5 years, going towards like 6. I've been dabbling in it since like 2010, 2012. And so I really got into it a little later on, probably around like 2015 or so. So like I've seen a lot of what cEDH was like in old school. Now, not quite like 90s because I was never a part of those because at the format as a whole, Commanders, which was EDH, wasn't that big. It was just kind of like online forums that were getting people to play it. But
Unban Flash.
no, please.
Please no.
Yeah, I will be playing one deck, and everybody will hate me under the sun because they can't win. My meta deck, which I did play through that time in Flash, my meta hate deck was Inoffensive the Foremost. The command zone said Flash didn't work.
Rude.
Yeah, I mean, you're trying to play something and have it sack. Well, what if it just exiles and doesn't die? Whoop, no it can't. Whoop, sorry. And then it was stacked, so I just didn't let you do anything.
Man, you must be so fun to play with.
Listen, I've done a lot in this format. I wouldn't say I'm like the craziest, maybe the best player, or even the person that even goes to that many events. I've played it for a long time. I love it. I just enjoy playing Magic. I mean, I play a bunch of formats. I mean, I play Legacy, Vintage, Pauper, Pioneer, cEDH. Like I just love Magic. I love playing all the formats.
Nerd.
Yeah, thanks.
Welcome, bud.
Yeah, appreciate it. But when looking at this that's going on here, it seems like these dog thrust pilots, when they're walking up to a meta, and especially if they're in their own region and they know what they're expecting and they're performing well, then they're doing great with what's going on, and then everybody else who's caught lacking is just losing to these turbo decks. But after those three decks is where you actually find Blue Farm. It's there, and then crazy enough, underneath that is Rocco. But,
yeah, I see that. That's Rocco and Stella Lee.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, those are starting like dropping down into less top cuts. Actually, well, aside from TNT, but that one had a lot of people play it, and not a lot of people got through.
Yeah,
like the popularity shot up, kind of like to, I wouldn't say quite the level of Blue Farm, but popularity shot up a lot. A lot of people played it. A lot of people lost with it, dropped the deck, and then switched back to what they were doing. That's what I've seen. But aside from those, another thing that I thought was fun is I don't know how many of the viewers by the time they're watching would have heard or even know that it was even discussed. But WotC proposed a potential rule alteration for the context of color identity. So they were effectively trying to increase the card pool for as much of what's in cEDH as possible, which means everything except 5-color or mud, which aka colorless, it will get additional cards that they could play in their decks. Even though the card pool isn't significant, they're trying to just give additional options, which this all means is that they're trying to change the rule around hybrid mana symbols. Now, their proposed change, in their example, they spoke about Deathrite Shaman. Now, in the converted mana cost, it is hybrid. And so they would say that you could play hybrid mana cost cards in your deck, provided that they don't have the color pip of something outside of your deck in the rules text of the card. So Deathrite Shaman wouldn't qualify, but cards like Guttural Response would qualify to play in a mono red or mono green deck. And there are a bunch of cards that I pulled up that I thought were interesting, that I thought needed discussion. Mm-hmm. 2 cards primarily at the very top. Do you want me to save them for last, or do you want me to tell you them now?
Tell us them now.
With these rule changes, the most intriguing thing to me that occurs is companions for Zerda and Luris. Mm-hmm. So that means you could Luris companion a mono black deck or a mono white deck. You could Zerda companion a mono white or mono red deck, and it just opens up the availability to what you have.
My question is, if you're playing a blue white deck, could you could you put Zerda or
Yes. That's if that does go through. Like I said, this was proposed. This is not happening. This did not happen. This was just something that they wanted to discuss with the community.
Yeah.
And so I thought it'd be important to bring up here to just clarify the distinction between the two. Now, I don't know how this rule would interact off of my immediate memory of the situation if the mana symbol in the rules text is hybrid, but I assume that it would be okay. Say, I have a bunch of examples up here, like guttural response is probably the big one, but what was the other one I was looking at that had a activated ability? Vexing Shusher, which would be the big one for cEDH is concerned. It has a hybrid mana cost in the text, which I would assume would work. So you could play this in either mono green or mono red, which does significantly help those colors. Probably more so red than green, because green has a lot of options to make their own stuff uncounterable. But it would be definitely something of a shakeup to allow people to test with these cards that they normally couldn't play in their decks. What is your overall thought on this? And then after I get that, I'm going to list off some cards for you to think about.
I was like, oh, that's a big change. As somebody who has played Magic, came in like most people from a casual and just wanted to slowly increase their just the power and everything else like that.
Yeah.
Magic, like, to an extent, is very, like, I just put in so much hours that it's very natural to me now. Like,
yeah,
Magic is a very complicated game, and Wizards over the past 20 years has tried to make the game more complicated, but as clear as possible when it comes to their complications. That being said, they've definitely like messed up plenty of times. And this is tough because when you look at it, it's like, oh, you can eat. This is like, oh, you can, as especially since I come from a purely commander standpoint, I don't really play 60-40 card. I don't play a lot of the other formats.
Okay.
I'm like, all of my games played, 98% of them have been commander. I'm all in on commander. It's so much fun for me.
I agree. It's fantastic.
This feels if this will affect commander the most.
Well, it would be specifically for Commander. It's not addressing any other format. Which
okay.
They're proposing these ideas, which I love the idea of them doing. One thing I really want people to remember is that cEDH as a whole, or Commander as a whole, the format was not constructed by WotC. They did make it. It was a group of friends that called it Elder Dragon Highlander, which is what EDH stands for. And at the time, your commander could only be an Elder Dragon, which, like, namely for a lot of people, people think of Nicol Bolas as one of the OGs. Which, if we can have that old OG card art on here, it's fantastic. Where he's laying back. Oh, that is something for me. That's iconic for Magic, is the old Nicol Bolas art. I love that guy. Yeah. But it in context to this, it shows to me, in a judge on this, and I'm not speaking for like other judges on this. I'm just saying for me as somebody who, compared to the average Magic player, has a deeper understanding of the rules. This shows to me that they're trying to challenge the constraints for how the format is constructed, meaning they might start analyzing, okay, does it have to be exactly 99 cards in, or excuse me, exactly a total of 100 cards in your deck? Or can that be like a minimum? As just an example that I'm bringing up. They didn't mention this, but like this is just a concept that they could try to challenge in the format, which if they did something like this, then that would, let's just say, add in Yorion, which you brought up. So Yorion could then start to be included because you can't actually meet its requirement for your deck construction because there's only one set number of cards you can have in your deck, minus having a companion, which is additive.
So then my next question is the elk, the 4 and a green red, that one, the companion elk.
Oh, Gigantha.
Yeah,
He
Gigantha.
has all 5 pips printed in text. He's always going to be 5.
Okay, that was my question. You're so psychic. You're so smart. Then so because if that happens, I feel like so many like possibilities open for the issue, as per usual, is how will this affect companions?
Listen, I love companions. In every format except Popper, I have a companion in my deck. The running joke for me is I'm never not playing Commander. And I love my companions. I play Yorion. I have like 9 different Yorion Legacy decks. I have like 6 different vintage Luris decks. I have a Yorion deck in Vintage. I also play Yorion in Pioneer. I have a Luris companion deck, which is the old name for it was Blues Clues. I always called it Cry Farm because it was just like the baby version of it. I play that with Wernog in Bjorna with a Luris companion, and it's just breach, breach, breach on repeat. And there was even a time I was debating on playing Pull from Eternity before my card selection started increasing with all of these other universes beyond and other power crap stuff that was given to it. Like I was actually looking at just playing these to just breach again and again. Like that's what the deck did. And so like I've done this so much. The only format I don't do it in, Popper, is because none of them are commons. I literally can't.
Yeah, there's cards like Wild Cantor that I run in certain decks. Some red decks are going to be like, oh, I don't have to play green because it's a 1-for-1.
Yeah, it's mana storage.
Yeah, it's mana storage. And there's just so many. It's exciting. I like the idea. But I think it just makes it harder for beginners to understand. It's a minor gripe, especially since this is a cEDH podcast. I'm like, yo, let us try to break the game. But that being said, I think how I want to play cEDH is I want everybody at the table to have a win turn 4. Anything earlier than that is not good for the game.
That's what you want personally?
That's what I like personally. That being said, I think having some commanders that can try to win earlier, that push that boundary, like Atali can win turn 1. Like
or Rograk decks in general. Rograk is just
Rograk decks, which is why I'm
coining a new name for Rograk decks. They're pedal pushers. All turbo decks, we're calling them pedal pushers. They're the PPs now. I'm sorry.
Yeah. So all these PP decks, which I'm gonna be honest with you, I play Rogthras. I love it.
Oh yeah, same. I love it too. I made some changes to mine recently. I actually put the 1-drop Tamu in there to see how that would do.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
so like
I thought that was gonna be a fun one.
That's the issue for me, is that when I play against these decks as cEDH, I am now forced to even if I get a first 7 really good mulligan, right? If I don't have a good counterspell in there, right? I'm just like, I gotta dump it. No matter like this hand
you don't believe.
I'm gonna be honest with you. It depends on what seat they're at, if I'm seat 1 or whatever.
See,
but
the OP thing about Thrasios decks is that if there's nobody that's playing turbo at the table, the only thing in your opening hand you need is mana. That's it. You need nothing else.
Yeah, that's why.
Serious. It's so obnoxious. It's the same thing with Kinnan. The only thing you need in your hand is mana. You need no other requirement. You will find everything else.
I'm being attacked. I'm being attacked. Because I play both of those decks a lot. Yeah, it's gosh, it's so fun and frustrating that I don't know. Maybe it's because every deck, like, I don't know. Whenever I play Atali, people counter my stuff. When other people play Atali, they just go wild. And I'm just like, I am never playing Atali ever again.
That's how I feel. Like I got to take a break from cEDH whenever I get to play a lot. Because, like, for example, I haven't been able to recently, so I've involuntarily had that break from cEDH. But there are periods of time where, like, I could start to go like once or twice a week. Like, doesn't really cost me anything. It's literally I could literally walk there. It's like a 5-minute walk. Like, and so I'll go up there and play, be up there for like 4 or 5 hours, and then come back home. That could probably be like after I work in the morning or whatever. And like it gets to a point where and I'm not trying to brag when I say this, but it's just like I'll start winning a bunch of games, and then I just start getting targeted, and then they start countering random stuff from me, and then we start losing the game to other people, and I'm like, if you don't understand how to interact with my deck, like I don't mind helping you, like understand like the appropriate thing, because I know I play weird decks, and that's fine. But I'm always still meeting the core requirement I think cEDH needs to have is the mana and card draw, like to an oblivion that you need to acquire. So like my decks still follow these to some way, shape, or form, and it's tough when I start seeing people just start to lose it when I win, whether that be through politicking, whether that be through a smart play that I had because I play these weird cards like Mystic Sanctuary, that people start getting real easy, where like if they counter my Cyclonic Rift after I had like a mini counter war over it, or maybe throw like one or two at each other, and then I just go to my next turn and do it again because I just pulled everything out of their hand. Like these plays, they're not used to it. That's why I play these cards, because they allow me to do things that people aren't comfortable with. If you pull people out of their comfort zone, you can just start doing crazy things in game. That's why I play Shorakai, Katara, and Doggrass recently, because you can basically do anything with that deck right now. It feels so like I don't hate really any card in that deck because it all feels good.
How do you feel about the card Psychic Possession?
It's whatever. Just don't cast it on me. All my decks recently have been drawing like 80 cards by like turn 6 or 7.
I love and hate that card so much. Every time I draw it, I'm like, oh, there's somebody who's gonna draw a lot of cards. And then I pitch it to Force a Will, or I discard it, or like I play the wheel, and like I was like, oh, okay, awesome. Then somebody like plays a wheel and it gets discarded. I have drawn that card recently like 10 times, and every single time I have not been able to play it. Because it's a win more card. It's a win more. And it's not like, this is not progressing my game plan at the current moment. I need to play these other cards instead, and it's really frustrating.
Yeah, like I'll be honest with you, like that card would only be great if there was always somebody like me sitting at the table. Because like I say this all the time to people, but they just I'm playing on axis that seems confusing to people, which is fine because I don't mind explaining to it. I love talking about Magic. I could talk about it for too long. Sorry, I was actually just checking the time because I have to work tonight. But all of my decks are trying to accrue large card advantage over my opponents. I'm not going to lie about that. Blue Farm, the best deck that people perceive in this format, which I disagree, because I don't think we've explored the format enough to really determine that it's the best deck, which, minor point. If you can find a deck like Yoshi Thrasios right now that is so malleable that can go back and forth between being fast or slow, then I think you're going to find more decks like that that'll start matching Blue Form on pace because they can choose how they play the game. Side note.
Do you think like a deck like Timna Malcolm could make legs once we figure out the meta more, or because nobody plays it?
The only problem, which we spoke before in a previous episode, that I have with Esper right now, which is the same problem that Blue Farm suffers from. They are struggling to make as much mana as they want. And so that's why if you play against Blue Farm, just never let them have a Smothering Tithe. Those professional face breakers start putting up blockers. Like you have to play against these cards because these decks can only play as fast as you play or as much mana as you give them. Like, that's the same problem Esper has, because Blue form is basically an Esper deck splash red.
Mm-hmm.
And so if you analyze any other deck like that, you can make the argument, but he had Thassa's Oracle, Demonic Consultation. You can do that turn one theoretically. Yeah, theoretically. I mean, are we going to be playing in a tournament that you're going to have 1,000 rounds of Swiss? No, it's not going to come up that often. Like, the reality of the situation is, like, what is your average game? You will have ups and downs from your average game. You need to make your average as best as possible, and I try to scream that to people. Like, that's why, like, we've seen our buddy, I'm not gonna say his name, but like, he's tried playing Shorokai multiple times, and he doesn't grasp the concept of how Shorokai functions to accrue a lot of cards and mana, which is fine, because Shorokai as a deck is very weird, because it's all just artifact stuff, where if you played... What's the most comparable thing I could think of? If you played... no, not Wheeliad. It was going to be like closer to another format, because like there's Azorius shops in Vintage that'll play like stacks pieces as their forms of interaction on top of their like force wills and stuff, but they play like these artifact stuff to storm off like One Ring and whatnot, like try to do that with Penjin. But like these decks are trying to play on an axis where they're just like, I just want more cards than you, because if I have more cards, I will win. Like that's just how they function. Like my decks are doing the same thing. Even Katara, but Katara is it confuses people, because it's like, I'm not going to draw cards until you start really knocking on the door to end the game. Every time you start getting somewhere, like that's why I put cantrips in my deck in Katara, because it actually makes the deck faster at winning. Weirdly enough, because all these instant speed cantrips, they find me good cards that I need for what I need at a certain moment at the table, or they're just giving me experience counters, so Katara draws me more cards. Like Katara, is Shorokai and Thrasios. All three of these, by themselves, when you look at them, they're just like, hey, it's an okay card. It's not crazy. Like Thrasios, pay 4 mana to draw a card. Like that's pretty low. Granted, you get to scry, but there's other things in this format that you can do, like play Heuristic Study. Yeah. Like, Shorokai, which, this is the one that confuses me the most. People think I'm drawing a lot of cards in Shorokai, even if I start activating it a bunch. But Shorokai is just a fancy draw one.
It's surveilled.
It's draw 2, discard 1. It's a fancy draw 1.
People always argue this with me when it comes to Ledger Shredder, but I like. It's like, yeah. Oh, it's a looting effect, which Shorokai is the better looting effect. Draw 2, discard 1.
Well, there's a difference with looting and rummaging, and so both of these, they do loot, so you see the card before you discard, which makes them notably better than if they were in the reverse.
Yeah. But it's, I will say, card selection, people knock on it. It's it's really good. Which is why Thrasios is really, really good. You don't see it in the 99 unless you're Kinnan for the most part. But it's right. You get to scry one, and if it's the card you really want, yeah. If it's a card you don't want at the current moment, that's fine, because you have probably like 89 other cards that are probably going to be more relevant than the one you didn't want then.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I had
it's the same with you. You are looking at 2 cards, and at the very worst, you pitch one of the ones you didn't want from those 2, or realistically, you're going to probably pitch one of the other 6 cards in your hand that is worse for the current situation.
Yeah, I did have a really crazy turn 3. It felt like in Katara the other day. So it was turn 3. I didn't do anything special. It was just lands and then pass, and it was just playing Katara turn 3, play a fetch land and pass. So like I didn't really do anything to progress my game plan. I had a pretty slow hand, but there's no turbo decks at the table. And at the turn right before mine, going into their end step, I started the turn with no, sorry, sorry, turn one. I actually did play a Moxie Amber, but I didn't do anything until turn two after I had Katara. So sorry, I did have one more mana. So to going into my turn in their end step, I cast Frantic Search with the 3 mana, not cracking my fetch. So I did that, gained 1 counter on Katara. So I drew 2, discarded 2, untapped 2 lands. That was fine. I wasn't going to fetch because I had a Brainstorm in hand. So I untapped my 2 lands. So I cast Brainstorm, drew 3, put 2 back, fetched, put the 2 worst cards in my hand back in my deck and shuffled it away. And then I cast Consider and then Opt. And so I surveilled, took the top card, put it into the graveyard, drew cards, and I scryed. I saw another land, and I was like, go right to the bottom, and then I drew like, I think it was a Force Negation, and then I go into my next turn with Katara having, what was it, Frantic Search, Brainstorm, Consider Opt, just 4 counters, and then I go to my turn, attack with Katara, draw 4, discard 1. And like it was crazy because nobody had anything to stop it because they didn't have removal and they didn't want to counter cantrips. And I was like, it's fine by me. I'll just draw cards and I'm sitting there because I played a Reliquary Tower on turn 2. So like no, not a Reliquary Tower. No. What was it? I think it was Spellbook, but I took that card out actually. Hold on.
Is it maximum hand size?
Yeah, no maximum hand size. I'm checking to see if it's in my deck right now because I think I went down to just Triskaidekaphile, Thought Vessel, and Reliquary Tower because Spellbook wasn't feeling that good. Yeah, I took it out. I don't remember what. Oh no, I took it out for Peter Parker's camera. Which, if we could put that card on screen right now, people need to look at this card because once they finally realize, maybe some crazy person is going to hear it from me. Eventually, someone will realize that this card is going to be played in Sisay and Magda. Be prepared to lose the game. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, it makes. As somebody who plays Brago, I'm just like, oh yes, please let me flicker something. I just want this, like, I mean, any card that makes Brago slightly better, I'm like, I gotta try it out. Can Brago still be cEDH? I placed like 5 games, and I'm like,
Infinite Brago.
It's another card that can do. Like that can flicker with Brago, and I'm just like, yes, and then I'm like, it's still not there. It's a low 5. You're still fringe.
I know,
no!
It's so weird, but
it's so because you got to dig for it because you play a bunch of like similar with Katara. You play cantrips, like artifact cantrips, and you're like, okay, I think I can do this now, and then you're like, I'm flickering.
Yeah, you got to remember, like all those cards in my hand didn't do anything. Like they didn't interact with my opponent. They didn't do anything. They're all card selection. Like, but I'm doing it because I'm in mono blue. Even my Izzet decks, because those of you that don't know, I am a profound lover of Krakashima. I have my ups and downs with my Krak decks. I played Timna Krak.
You have bad luck. That's the issue.
Hey, you've seen when it's bad, but I think you've missed out when it was good. I think, like, for example, Mark has seen when my Krak goes off when it's insane. Like, for example, I had a culling the week and I had 4 Krak triggers. I flipped correct on all of them, and then my saw in half I just kept going off with, and I won the game.
I'm going to be honest with you. I've only played your Krak Sakashima decks when you've had really bad luck. So it's like
no, you're talking about Sharambe. He cannot play that deck. He gets screwed every game.
Yeah.
Krakashima treats me nice at least 80% of the time. At least.
I'll take your word for it. That's what they all say.
I'm expecting that Quark will have some fail rate, so I play around it. So I keep trying to press myself further to make sure my win attempt is more guaranteed while not losing. That's why I play cantrips in there. Like, I'm even on Stock Up. Dude, Stock Up in Quark is crazy. Just to point that out. If you've never cast that before, it feels awesome.
That's the 3 mana one, right?
Yeah, that's the blue and 2. Look at top 5, take 2, and put the rest in the bottom.
3 mana to draw 2 is
No, it's 3 mana drawing 2+ because it's Krark. It's
oh
so
gosh.
good. I had Krark and Sakashima on board, and I cast Stock Up, and I won the flip twice, so I had just 3 copies of Stock Up, and I put 6 cards in my hand from the top 15, and I was like, dude, this is the most insane Dick Food time I've ever seen.
Yeah,
Like,
it's oh
so
gosh.
good.
Stock Up has been being seen in a bunch of other decks as well.
Yeah, it's really good in RAL as well.
Yeah.
It's actually, I think just low color blue decks would want this in general if they're on a bunch of soul lands.
Are you on this with Katara?
Huh?
Are you on it on Katara?
No, my only sorcery speed cantrip is Ponder.
Okay.
It's 1 mana that has the potential to see 4 cards, but it usually sees 3.
Is that a cat or a baby?
That's a cat.
Okay, I just heard a where, and I'm like,
Yeah, she's
I was confused.
asking for more pets. I was petting her earlier and she left, and then I guess she's back now.
Okay, that's perfectly fine. I was just the meow was very concerning.
Concerning.
I thought it sounded like a baby. And I'm like, does
Oh
Tay
yeah,
have
I just
children?
totally popped a baby out of my butt. Yeah.
I don't know. I was hey, I was definitely petting my dog earlier. Hey, do you want a shot collar? You're not in frame.
No, stop it. Oh,
Get
I
in
don't want to hear
frame,
it.
or else.
Oh my gosh. But I also did want to bring up the other cards that I think would be the most interesting to see if the rule change for hybrid mana pips does go through.
Yeah.
And kind of want to talk about some of them with you. See where your headspace is at with them. Because I got some fun ones. There's some really cool cards. We'll start off with some of the less spicy ones. We'll start with Blade Historian. So it's 4 hybrid Boros pips. This is attacking creatures you control have double strike. This would help out mono red or mono white decks that are trying to do beatdown stuff. Say whether that be your what's the I can't remember the name of the tiefling now that came out of Baldur's Gate that has the choose a background.
The tiefling?
Yeah, it's.
You mean Karlach?
You pair with, huh?
You mean Karlach?
Yeah. You pair that with the background, the blue one where you make a bunch of flyers, and so it's Blue Moon Beatdown, and so yeah, so decks like this would give it double strike, and decks like that want the additional damage triggers because it plays all the things like Razalax, Professional Facebreaker, and stuff like that. So like these open up to help those decks or stacks decks that are trying to just kill you through combat damage. Just another easy way to give you double strike.
Okay, I see that.
Yeah, it's interesting. For 4 mana, it's pretty worth it. And notably, it's on a 2/3 body. So I just want to remind you about Delning. If you have anything else that's going on here, it's just for some reason another 2/3. So your Imperial recruiters are going to grab this.
I like that. I like it. Hey, more cards that can be cEDH playable. I'm for it.
Yeah, 100%. That's why I like this rule change. That's why I pulled up these cards because I think they all have
potential rule change.
Yeah, potential rule change. Sorry. But okay, after that one, this is kind of an oldie but a goodie. But Thopter Foundry, if you remember, it's blue and then it's hybrid Orzhov. And it has a generic cost in the text, so it doesn't actually have any pips. If you don't remember what this does, this is a blue hybrid Orzhov artifact that says pay 1, sacrifice a non-token artifact, and you create a 1/1 blue Thopter artifact creature token with flying and you gain a life. It's used for various artifact sacrificial loops and things like that. Especially if you have things that increase the amount of tokens that you're creating, all of a sudden it's now a 1 mana accelerant, especially if you do it with like treasures and stuff.
Yeah, I some some people played this in their Marnius Calgar list.
Yeah, it's good.
There was, I can't remember. Uh, there's some decks had like a very weird loop that they could do because they would sacrifice. I think I can't
Yeah, you
remember,
would
but
sacrifice that. You would make a 1/1 Thopter, treasure, clue, and food with like Academy Manufacturer and stuff like that. Like it would start to go a bit buck wild.
yeah.
Like it's
So
now for me, who's staring at this, is that this goes in Azorius decks potentially, meaning like my Shorakai Polymorph deck. This is another way to just make bodies. And they're artifacts, which help for improvised costs. They help for sacrificial artifact things. Like there's a lot of synergies that can be made with this card.
they can help for
Like,
waterbending.
for example, yes, it can help with waterbending, which is a new mechanic out of the new format. For those, or sorry, not format, the new set that's coming out for Avatar. For those of you that don't know how waterbending works, that it's essentially improviser convoke. You can tap creatures and or artifacts to pay for waterbending, and it only pays for generic cost. And so far, if I'm not mistaken, almost every single waterbending card is just generic as part of their waterbending cost, and there's only specific ones that have other color pips added.
Yeah. And currently all the waterbending is like 5 or 7. It's huge.
There's some of them that are 3 and like 2. They're pretty bad overall as a card, but they are lower. But for the better things, yes, the waterbending 5 is a steep cost because like there's a. We'll talk about it eventually when Avatar finishes spoiling. We get more of it. But there's a card in there that looks great for 2 blue mana, but then you read that it says as an additional cost waterbend 5, and you're like, no. It was very upsetting to read. I'll be honest about that one. But aside from that, we did talk about Zerda. I did have a fun one to mention. You know about Leyline of the Guild Pack?
Yeah.
Those are 4 different hybrid green pips.
Yep. So as long as you have a green and anything else, you're good.
Dude, you could for some reason play that in a mono green deck. That's just my fun one to note. I just with the rule change, I thought it was humorous. So, but here's a big one though, and I don't think people realized it at all when it was set. Murderous Redcap. That's the thing with Persist. Every time it ETBs, it deals damage equal to its power. It's a hybrid Rakdos pip. Yeah, it's 2 hybrid Rakdos pips and 2 generic.
So, but then...
No, there are a lot of sacrificial decks that are looking for stuff like this.
Yeah, but most of them are already black-red anyways.
Hold on. There's Sephiroth, Chatterfang is 2 big ones.
Chatterfang, okay.
Yeah. They're always trying to do sacrificial synergies in some way, shape, or form. This taking off red because these decks, why am I forgetting the name of it? What is it? White black sacrificial stuff.
White black sacrifice?
Yeah. Why am I forgetting the aristocrats? Oh, that's what it is. Okay.
Oh, the style.
Yes. Yeah. So the aristocrat style of decks. 99% of the time aren't red, but a lot of them are black. So they get to include Murder's Redcap into the things that they can do. Listen, I was in the tank, man. I was in the tank.
Hey, I wouldn't say no. Give me some other ones that make me feel excited for this possible rule change.
Manamorphose.
Yeah, okay. I'm excited.
Because there's also Bro Storm decks in green. So let's remember that. Manamorphose could be a mono red or mono black deck. Or sorry, mono red or mono green deck. Sorry, it's rule card. Hybrid rule. So
it's good every time.
Mm-hmm.
I love
So,
Metamorphose.
yep, it's a fun card. It's good. That would see some more playability. And then we talked about Luris. And then probably the most interesting for me, it's the most spicy, most interesting. Um, it is a Planeswalker. Do you have a guess of which Planeswalker?
A mono, is it a Teferi one or is it? Oh, Teferi's always a hybrid. No, it's not Tybalt. Tybalt isn't.
Nope, nope.
No.
Tybalt's goes front and back, depending on how he's flipped. Back is both colors. Front is Valky, which I believe is just black.
Yeah. Oh, it's the. Isn't there like some Phyrexian ones? The Phyrexian
Sure, but
Genio.
Phyrexian symbols are not the same. No, I'll tell you. So it's Ashiok, specifically the 3-drop Dream Render.
Oh yeah.
This one is a spicy one, and I love it. This helps in many different ways, actually. When you read it,
Yeah, I've heard it.
Oppo is a strong card to take all the stuff from your opponents. Well, what if you just prevent them from tutoring altogether, in addition to being able to mill them and exile in the same ability so they can't get anything that you mill? And you can just start clearing graveyards to just hate on Breach as well as a side plan.
Yeah. It's
Mono blue and mono black for a Planeswalker. This is awesome. If this happens, this rule change.
You love your hate pieces, though. You love your stacked hate
for years, okay? When I stare at the okay, how upsetting do people get when you put a curse totem on the battlefield?
I cry.
Yeah,
I cry every time because every time that happens, I'm like, "Where's my Psych Rift? Where is it?"
I look like so in my Shuriken deck. I actually have been drawing Humility recently, and every time it hits the board, woo, baby, it is my game. It is my game. Oh shoot! You hate. Listen, if you got a hate piece that doesn't affect you in any way, shape, or form, you just don't care. Play it. It's so OP. You have 3 opponents. That's 3 times the amount of possible actions that you can take. Pretty crazy when you think about
it. This one hurts.
What, Ashiok?
I do love the art. I do love the art, though.
Ashiok, beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah, the chibi one's pretty cool. They did the I think they did a stained glass one. Yeah, they did a stained glass one. The JP alternate art's pretty good. Yeah, I see the chibi one here. OG is nice. I mean, but I think just the character design of Ashiok just makes Ashiok appealing in general because it's such a dope design character. But aside from that would be the one that I brought up before as the example being Guttural Response. You can play on mono red or mono green decks to counter blue instants.
I think that one's just fun. Like, I'll put it like this.
Pyroblast to do the same thing. It's effectively a Pyroblast.
Yeah, it's a green Pyroblast. It doesn't...
Hold on. You have decks that you play Pyroblast and Elemental Blast in, right?
Yeah, I've been going off them recently, but yeah.
Oh, okay. In my area, there's a bunch of blue popping up. And,
but it's just counter, right?
It's counter target blue instant. That's how it reads. I don't know. I was about to click over to the tab.
Blue instant?
Yes.
Yeah, I don't run Dispel in any of my decks. That's the thing.
Pyroblast or Red Elemental Blast. If we could have all 3 of these on the screen, there's minor differences between them. But how often are you blowing up blue permanents compared to just countering a blue instant?
That's tough to say. But the thing is, it's counter blue instant spell.
Yeah. What other blue spells are you countering most of the time, aside from very specific creatures?
The spells I want to counter.
I know you're going to say Rhystic Study, something other than that.
Rhystic Study, Smothering Tithe. I want to counter Smothering Tithe.
Neither one of them hit that. All 3 of these cards don't touch Smothering Tithe.
I don't.
Pyroblast looks at it.
I don't know. If I'm playing mono green or green, like green.
Well, you gotta remember, it's an option available to you.
Yeah, if I'm playing mono green, sure. I would probably be looking at this.
But
What
even
I
in red, in lower color red decks, is it decks around red elemental blast and power blast because blue's so OP?
Yeah, but
If
usually
you're
most
is it would you not want to look at this card?
you can look at it, but the thing is that I want to just most is it decks want to destroy other people's Rhystic Study.
Mm-hmm.
That's the thing is that I play Joyra. I look at this and I'm like, can't destroy Rhystic Study. Gone. Doesn't
What
draw
if
me
you
a
talk
card.
someone else
Gone.
what if you talk someone else into countering it and they try to defend their own heuristic study and you go, here's a gutter response.
I okay, if
Taking
they want it that bad,
opportunities.
sure. But yeah, I think it's also we have different deck building ideas as oh hey, I want 30 instants, so the one whenever I play my one spell, I have 2 backup answers for it. Like
Hey,
that's your play
do you not
style.
remember when I was playing Tinda Jessica like basically every day?
Like and my play style is oh hey, I'm playing a spell. Please don't counter it because I want to win next turn. Okay, I didn't get countered. Okay, now it's this turn. I'm going to play additional spell. Please don't counter it because I have no counter spells in
There's
hand.
plenty of
I
times
have
like you
7
can't.
cards in hand and none of them are counter spells. Please let me just do this. Like
Yeah, I mean,
internally, I'm sweating because they're like, oh, I
the,
pass,
the
I
way
pass. Oh,
the way I
I
describe
counter.
my deck building is that I was pushed into this position.
Yeah,
Like
you have to be the adult at the table because I'm not. I'm going to push
oh
for the
my
win
gosh. Well, because I was playing
every
Tinda
single time.
Jessica, I just kept catching myself in like the craziest scenarios where it was just like in my head, I'm just like staring at these blue players. Now I'm not saying it out loud, but like I definitely has had some very not nice monologue that I wanted to say. And I was just like, you know what? I'm gonna play some blue, and I'll show you how it's done. And so far, I've just been riding that. Like Shorikai, Katara spoiled, and I was like, oh my god, another one. So I did that, and then I've been like, ooh, Dog Thrax is fun, but I don't like the way anybody else builds it. I switched up like 30 something cards compared to everybody else's list, and I've been having a blast with it. Like I was forced to be here because everyone else was changing the game for me.
Before we head out for the night, I just want to give a quick shout out to Zerda. It's been cropping up slowly and surely. I played it on this channel like 2 to 3 months ago. And it's people are looking at it, people are getting scared at it, people are starting to understand it a little bit better, and they're like, oh, it's just Kennen. It's just a worse Kennen. That yeah, that but yeah, it's making some rounds. It's a little deck that could.
Mm.
I like Zerda. I wish it could have more cards that went with it. We have to play some really janky stuff,
Mm-hmm.
but that's what I like about cEDH.
Do you remember the
Also,
old 5-color Tazri Zerta companion deck? That deck was
no, it's not.
awful.
It was, and I have lost to it. I have lost
Oh
to
yeah,
that
I
deck.
lost it too, but the deck's awful.
It's it's the reason why is because nobody wanted to do anything. It's like, oh, okay, do it again. They're
Yeah,
like, okay,
it'll very consistently dirtle to a turn 4 win. Like that's what that deck does.
and they're like, we did this to ourselves. We let
Yeah,
them do nothing but dirtle, and we
yeah,
fought
that's what that. Yeah,
against each other, and they have
it's
risen among the rubble and ruin.
oh, I remember that deck. It would crack me up because it would piss me off seeing it win. But then when you would like stare back at the game and it's just like everybody was so focused on everybody else that I'm like, of
Yeah,
course the like it's like the story about the rap and the turtle racing. Well, just like if you're dilly dallying doing whatever, of course you're gonna lose. Like, come on, step up your game.
yeah.
Oh,
It's
it's so funny looking back on like all the games I get to watch when I'm running events, and I can't wait to run my next event.
yeah.
Um, Side note though for the channel, I know we don't have the craziest amount of viewers. Probably more pop up on the shorts and stuff like that, but feel free to let us know what we want to talk about. I mean, sometimes we joke about some of the comments that pop up on the shorts or videos. So it's like, by all means, we're gonna read them. Like, even if like we're talking to 12 people right now and they're all in a gymnasium watching on a giant projector. Yeah, I'm talking to you. Just let us know. I mean, we're right now kind of just doing this for fun. We're not really trying to blow up or be the biggest thing in the world. We're just trying to have a good time.
We're coming for you, Play to Win. We're coming for you, comedian. We're coming for you, spike feeders. We're coming for you, Playing with Power. One day. Probably not.
I mean, if we do, that would be very cool to see. But that's definitely not my expectation. And if you guys ever want to come out and see me or play some cEDH, come on down to Space Coast Treasures. Happens down over at LP Gaming in West Melbourne. We got an event coming out at December 6th. By the time this video comes out, it will be after Halloween. We're actually recording it on the 6th of November. But his prices were discounted until then, but if you want to like come out, have a great time, get a hotel, it's so fun. It's in like a nice little like shopping plaza. There's a bunch of food to go around. Everybody has a great time. There's even like board games and stuff you can do. They take a break for lunch, and you'll see me there, the head judge. We'll have a fun time. So if you want to come out, stop by, come on by. I'll see you at Deck Check.
If you're ever in Bangor, Maine, why? It's cold here. What are you doing here? Is it for leaf peeping? Are you here to see your grandma's cabin? Okay, we're good. Enjoy it. Please be quiet and pick up after yourself. Thank you.
And this has been the Tourney Timmys podcast. We're your hosts. I'm Kay.
I'm Kearns.
And you guys have a great one. We'll see you next time in the next episode.
Next time, next year. Say here.
In the next episode of Dragon Ball Z.
Ball Z. Let's do it. Wah! We are. The hope of the nation. We are.
There's the other like recommended videos popping up.
Yep. Like this video.
In the credits.
In this video.